Hello, just a little video update for you. It's easier to make a video than to type it all out. So our youth time that we had, our social justice service week, was really great. We had about 15 youth every day, and we went to people, and where else did we go? People to people. We made a meal for Salvation Army and toured the Salvation Army building, and we went to Viola Startzman. We went to both of their locations and toured that and learned about it, and then we pulled weeds for them around the outside. And we also, what else did we do? We put together little toiletry bags for the Hope Center that they'll pass out when they have their meal, their weekly meal that they give out. So that was really great. We had a really great turnout and a lot of good feedback. So hopefully we can continue doing some of those service things throughout the year, just to gain some knowledge of our community needs and let our youth kind of see what happens in all these different agencies. And it was a good learning experience for me too. So coming up, we've got the Intergenerational Food Fellowship and Fun, which is next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30. It's going to be a half hour of dinner to begin with, and I'm just going to have it catered each night, different restaurant, Panera, Bueller's, whatever. I haven't decided quite exactly where to get it from. Yeah, I'll work on that today. But if anybody is available to help, because it's going to be catered, I'm just going to have them drop it off. Everything can be disposable. I know it's not really earth-friendly, but it's a good, simple start for me. And so if there's anybody there that is available to help, that's one thing I could use help with, is just maybe a little bit of cleanup after they eat. So the meal time will be from 5:30 to 6. They'll just have, communion or potluck kind of style, walk through, get their meal and sit down and just have some fellowship time, unstructured fellowship time from that time, during that time. And so it would just be a little bit of cleanup, which I can have the participants help in, and that would be fine too if nobody can help. But that's a way that you can help if you would like to. So that's next Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 7:30. So if you can help, let me know. Really, it's just like 5:30 to 6 cleanup after that. So we've got there's 17 units signed up. So there's between 35 and 40 people coming. That's not every night. We do have some people that can only come certain nights of the week, which is fine. It is mostly one generation. It's not really intergenerational, but we'll do our best to try to incorporate as many young people in there as we can. We do have like a family that can come this day, and then another family can come on this day, and so we'll mix it up the best we can, and it will be great no matter what. So looking forward to that. We've got First Families and First Friends that are starting. First, I'm in charge of First Families, and so that is going to be a time like First Friends, only you can bring your kids. So it's going to be First Families. You don't have to have kids, but you are going to be put in groups that may have kids, or you may be going to a home that has children and toys all over the house, and maybe a simple pizza dinner or whatever. So just a little bit of a laid-back version. Some of the families I heard were a little bit intimidated with the First Friends idea because they did have kids, and they didn't know if maybe some of the older people that were out of kind of that kid zone time would be comfortable and want to come into their home that maybe they didn't have time to clean, or it just wasn't maybe as pristine as some of the other homes that they were going to go into. So we kind of separated it between First Families and First Friends. And you can have kids and go to First Friends if you need a night off. If you, want to have some adult time without kids, you can join that First Friends as it traditionally was. So that is slowly starting. As we kind of merge back into church and get together in more in-person things, these things will start to pick up a little bit, but right now everything's a slow start, and we knew that would happen. VBS is coming up. That will be the first week in August. Primarily, it's just going to be Westminster and First Pres with the inclusion of the Creative Academy and the College of Worcester Nursery School. We are including them and hoping to partner with them between the two churches. So First Presbyterian hopes to partner with Creative Academy in more ways than traditionally we had with We Care, and Westminster would like to partner with the College of Worcester Nursery School in more ways than they have done in the past. So we thought jointly, if we did this together, we could put our brains together and our manpower together and kind of help. So it is also for our families, but we are really looking more outreach towards these two daycare centers. So that happens August 2nd, I don't have my calendar in front of me. August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th maybe, that first week in August. That will happen from 9 to 11. So we are going to be looking for volunteers for that as well. And lastly, just thinking about the fall. And one thing I wanted to talk about, and now what you can think about, is your comfort level. Maybe people that you've talked to in the church that, in your little groups and circles and people that you hang out with in the church setting, is I use the word comfortability. I know that's not a word, but what you're going to be comfortable with coming into the fall. We have set a date for Rally Day, which is going to be September 12th. That's traditionally, we usually do it the first Sunday after Labor Day, and Labor Day is a little bit late, so it makes that starting date a little bit later. But the outside worship time that we're having right now at 9 o'clock has really been a catalyst for creating a different atmosphere when we come back in the fall. And it was really started by some families that approached me and, wanted something a little bit different, weren't comfortable coming inside the building yet, and just needed something little, nothing major, but just something little to kind of keep them going. And so we started that Easter Sunday, and it has gone on this whole time. I think there's been one Sunday, Mother's Day, that was a downpour, and I was there, but obviously nobody showed up. So, but other than that, we've had faithful people there, between 20 and 30 people there every morning. So it is something that is needed. So we have talked, David and I and the staff, and a couple other key people that were part of that 8:30 group, 8:30 chapel service when it was back in pre-COVID times, have talked about how we can keep that momentum going without changing the whole structure of the church time. So we're thinking about having that little devotional worship service in the morning, maybe starting at 8:30, 9 o'clock, half an hour of that, then an hour of Sunday school, and then our main worship at 10:30, whatever time that would happen. So, but one thing that I'm having conversations with people and just want to hear from people about is the comfortability of coming inside in the fall. The church now has a policy of not needing to wear a mask inside if you are fully vaccinated, and encouraging those that haven't been able to get the vaccine or haven't gotten the vaccine to wear a mask. And of course, if you're fully vaccinated and you're comfortable with wearing a mask, you may also wear a mask. And so some of the things that I'm hearing, we have families that have children that are not old enough. They're under 12 and they haven't gotten the vaccine yet. They're not old enough for it yet. And so that level of being comfortable coming back inside the church is all over the place depending on your age and your family dynamics and things like that. So in order to prepare for the fall, Sunday school classes, worship times and services, and where will they be? And, we can hold things outside, but I think, at some point we're going to have to come inside. It's going to be too cold for me to be out there. And I think Godly Play is kind of at an age that it's going to be tricky to have Godly Play outside. The way it previously was. We'll certainly have to change that kind of structure. And Rachel can't do music outside. Some Bibletown, the youth groups, they'll all be vaccinated. So really it's just Godly Play that we're talking about. And then the parents of those kids, and not just those kids, but some other church members are just not quite comfortable yet coming inside where people are not wearing masks. And so the process of doing this hybrid thing, right? So we have our worship service live streamed, but we're not offering anything educationally outside of coming inside the building. That was oxymoron, outside of coming inside the building. So thinking about that and how that might look for next year, starting September 12th. And just the dynamics of, I need to contact teachers. Maybe, half of our teachers aren't willing to come back yet, or maybe they're all willing to come back, but they don't, so that process of figuring out what that's going to look like. And this is adult through, nursery through adult. So if you're in those groups, if you're in a Bible study, or if you're on session, or if you're on whatever, and you can just kind of talk about and just ask people, what they're looking forward to, or, especially with kids, youth and under, what are you hoping is going to happen to our church in September? And just the dynamics of how all this pandemic has affected us, and knowing that the change is there and the change is needed, but just how do we go about that in the right way so that everybody feels comfortable and everybody feels heard, but that we are meeting the needs of most, which is what I've been saying, and that's the best that we can do, is meet the needs of most, because I'm only one person and I can't meet the needs of all. It's tricky. So, and so we've talked about, how does Rachel do music? How do we do joy worship? With 2 services kind of. So anyway, it's kind of, it's a tricky situation. And so the more people we get, to hear from, and without, having a grand meeting about it, the better. So I think those are the biggest things. Our Bible study on Tuesday mornings is going great. We have about 12 ladies that come to that. And it's coming up in August. We've got the VBS, and then there's nothing really happening because I really want to focus on the fall and how that's going to look. So August, if you can help with VBS, that's great. I think I've hit my max here on my video. So let me know what you can help with. I think I'm also we'll make up a calendar of activities that we will be doing. And I think Thanksgiving, all those things will be a go. It just may be a slimmed down. I guess everything is kind of under the watchful eye of how COVID takes over in the fall, I guess. So that was a lot thrown at you. So if you have to rewind and rewatch it, I'm sorry. Have a good day.